Welcome to the program. I'm MarkKalix, aka Chef Mark, and this is This Dream House, the lifestyle podcast all about the home. And this week, episode 7, we're going to be talking to a fitness expert about how to reach your goals when it comes to New Year's resolutions. We're going to have Tina Meinhardt on from Girls, Gears, and Beers. We're going to learn what that is and what makes her an expert. Okay, thank you to Appliance Factory and Mattress Kingdom for sponsoring today's show. The deal of the week, they have dishwashers, top brand stainless steel interiors, 3 racks. I love a third rack. If you have never had a third rack dishwasher, you don't know what you're missing out. You put all your silverware and little fiddly bits at the top. It cleans really well because it's so close to the water jets. And then that big bulky silverware basket, you know what I do? I just pitch that. Poof, gone. And now I got a ton of extra room in my dishwasher. So anyways, thanks to Appliance Factory Mattress Kingdom for sponsoring the show. And then go check out ApplianceFactory.com for deal of the week. Save up $200 compared to the big box store on this wonderful stainless steel interior third rack dishwasher. Okay, so before we talk to Tina from Girls, Gears, and Beers, I want to talk about our weekly chitter chatter. It's our restaurant dispatch. And check out my t-shirt if you're watching this on video, Casa Bonita. Casa Bonita is open, and it's hard to get in. So friends of the family put in a reservation request months before they opened. We finally got in. So after about 9 months of waiting, we finally got a table, and what an experience. So thoughts. The food is fine. It's fine. It's high quality. I will say that. It's very, very high quality. But I would say that it's geared more towards, let's say, children. And it's definitely a cafeteria style menu still. I applaud them for not going too far with the food. That the food was never the reason to go to Casa Bonita, and it's still not. But like I said, high quality. We had what was known as cliffside dining. So we actually got escorted to our table. We ordered off the menu, the 6 items they have on the menu, and then our food was brought to us. And we got to watch the cliff divers. So if you get an opportunity to do cliffside diving, I think it's worth it, even though you missed the food line, which I understand they've spent a lot of time and effort re-engineering that so that they want you getting back to your table with your food still hot. So entertainment, oh my gosh, the entertainment's fantastic. Give yourself a good 2 hours budgeted after dinner. So we went early, felt like the first seating, 4:30. And we were there until 8 o'clock. Between eating and seeing all the entertainment. So the puppet show is fantastic. They take all of the food that they fired off the menu, and they're now the puppets, the tacos and taquitos. It's hilarious. It's a treasure trove for food puns. Great shopping. Black Bart's Cave, really fun. The magic show, fantastic. Corny and cheesy, but fun. And then, of course, the cliff divers. They don't just come out and jump off the little cliff. They actually do a whole routine with music. And if you stand too close, you will get splashed on. Ask me how I know. So let's see. What's my score? I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10 Casas. So good job, Casa Bonita. I really love what you guys did. You kept the spirit of the restaurant. Obviously, it's well established and well funded because of who the owners are. And I think they're taking an institution and they've really revitalized it. So really a fun time. If you want to see a video of the cliff diver, you can go to TikTok, my TikTok, ChefMarkKalix, and check it out. It's really fun to watch the cliff divers at Casa Bonita. Okay. Well, everyone, we're gonna learn from Tina, Coach Tina, from Girls, Gears, and Beers, how to keep a New Year's resolution. And we're also going to learn about Rowdy Rider Academy. She's a mountain bike coach here in the Denver area. She's got a lot of great insights I know that she's going to share with us. So sit back, relax, stay tuned in, and I'll be right back.
Year-end clearance today at Appliance Factory and Mattress Kingdom. Don't buy until you shop Appliance Factory. Guaranteed we beat Lowe's and Depot's sale prices. Guaranteed we'll save you money. GE to KitchenAid, LG to Viking. Guaranteed best prices of the year. Year-end clearance today at Appliance Factory and Mattress Kingdom. Mattress Kingdom inside Appliance Factory. Test all the new mattress brands: Purple, Casper, DreamCloud, and Tempur-Pedic. Work with an expert to get the mattress of your dreams. Don't miss Appliance Factory and Mattress Kingdom's year-end clearance.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back to This Dream House. It is the podcast all about the house. And help me welcome our first guest. It's Tina Meinhardt from Girls, Gears, and Beers. Welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me.
Well, so we're in the blast. We're in the Arctic blast. It's been 20 below here in the Denver area. I understand you're in Arvada, which is just west of Denver.
Yeah.
And what have you been doing to stay warm?
Let's see, staying in the house. But I've been getting outside.
You have?
Yeah, because it started the new year doing some challenges with my CrossFit gym, and one of the
Gotcha.
requirements is 45 minutes of outdoor time.
Okay,
So
wow.
yeah,
Okay, so
kind of
you're
worked it in.
diehard. Okay, so you as a fitness professional, we want to know, how do you set a New Year's Eve resolution that you can actually keep when it comes to fitness goals?
Honestly, I think small goals. So I
Okay.
kind of got a head start last year, and in September, I just decided I was going to do push-ups every single day because one of my goals for 2023 was at the very start of the year, I didn't think I could do a push-up because I've never been able to since my early 20s. And then early on last year, I'm like, oh, I can do 5. That's awesome. So that was a good start. But then the year progressed and I was working on it. But then in September, I was like, I want to do more push-ups. So I just made it a goal of every single day I have to do 20 push-ups. It doesn't have to
Yes.
be all at once, but just kind of working my way up, that I can build upon that and just build that muscle memory in the movement pattern to make it easier. So yeah, I just started chipping away, and I think I made it till about Thanksgiving when I got sick and missed a few days. So I think the key with the resolutions is start super small and just do one thing.
So you gave yourself a goal of 20 push-ups. What was the benefit? Did you notice? Like, did you feel stronger, more flexibility? Like, because that seems like a simple goal if you do push-ups all the time. But like,
Yeah.
I tell you, I mean, I would challenge anybody to drop and give me 20 right this moment. So what
Yeah.
did you notice?
I noticed that, I was able to do push-ups for the first time in my adult life. And it got a lot easier. I
Yeah.
also felt like, even on days where let's say I had a rest day, I didn't do anything. I'm like, you know what? It's 8 o'clock. I'm about to go to bed, but I didn't do my push-ups. So, okay, I'm going to get on the floor and get it done. But just in general, exercise, it makes you feel so much better. And yeah, being able to do a really good, like good form military push-up, I feel much stronger. And I mean, this year it really increased my strength and my power. And so on the mountain bike, I've noticed huge gains.
Yeah, and for those who don't mountain bike, it is a full body workout for sure. I mean, from your pinky finger all the way down to your big toe, it's gonna hurt if you're not well conditioned.
Yeah.
Um, so, what kind of exercises? Maybe something simple that we can do if we're, let's say, in a small space, an apartment.
Yeah. So there's a lot. There's a lot of body weight exercises. I've just developed some programs using an online fitness app, and the one that I'm
Oh,
working on now is only body weight, and which is really awesome for people that, let's say, live in a small studio. They only have a 10 by 10 room, or they're traveling and want to do something in their hotel room. But yeah, there's I don't know. I could probably name like 50 right now. So you've got
wow.
like different types of body weight squats, lunges, push-ups. some postural exercises, different variations of planks, high planks, low planks, um, burpees, up,
Oh
down,
gosh.
stuff to get your heart rate up, mountain climbers. So you can get a good
So
workout in.
these are all good for mountain biking, but will this app in your program and this fitness regime, will this work for anybody looking to improve their fitness?
Yeah, yeah. So a lot of my programs, I'm gearing towards anybody. I do have mountain bike specific and skier and snowboard specific programs that I've just
Oh,
created.
cool.
But
Yeah.
yeah, like anybody can do it. And there's even in the body weight exercises, you can make it easier, you can make it harder. So any, especially someone that might be, older that can't jump, let's say, or
Yeah.
someone that's dealing with injuries, like there's a lot of different modifications to start easier.
Yeah. Now, you're not just making this up. I understand that you have a degree in this field. So, can you talk about kind of what qualifies you to be our fitness pro today?
Yeah, yeah. So I'm a physical therapist. I got my doctorate of physical therapy degree in 2015. So I've been practicing as a PT for, I guess, almost 7, 8 years now. And then I went to college with a major in exercise science. And in college, I became a personal trainer and a strength coach. And I worked with a lot of high school athletes. And over the last couple decades, almost, yeah, 25 years, have always loved fitness, and I've had all kinds of jobs as a personal trainer, sports performance coach, strength conditioning coach, then a PT, and now I've kind of backed off the physical therapy side to grow my mountain bike club and then do more of the strength conditioning and personal training too. I just got my CrossFit level 1 trainer certificate and kind of implementing the CrossFit foundational movements and CrossFit exercises to my programs.
So, you have several things going on here. I understand. You have Rowdy Rider Academy,
Yeah.
which is a mountain bike club. No,
No,
that's Girls,
it's
Gears, and
coaching.
Beers. I'm so confused.
Yeah,
um,
it's separate now.
okay, tell us about. Let's start with Rowdy Rider Academy, and let's start there.
Yeah. So Rowdy Rider Academy, that's basically my new mountain bike coaching business. Because my husband and I got this 2 acre property in West Arvada a year ago with goals of building it into a mountain bike ranch. So I can use for coaching clinics and, as well as advance our own skills. But I wanted to break away my coaching from Girls, Gears, and Beers so that I can market to men and children.
Okay.
So yeah, in March we kind of broke ground on the property and put in about 4,000 square feet of a turf field with beautiful views of
I
Golden and
bet.
downtown Denver and Pikes Peak. We can even see, but yeah, we've built a couple trails. We have a progressive drop zone that we only have that, I think, at Valmont and now Village Greens. So that's awesome to have in my backyard. And we've got, we just built a tabletop jump, have a jump line, and yeah, lots, a technical step up line. And we just put a corner and a big berm for cornering practice. But basically, yeah, I'm doing skills coaching in my backyard. And then this winter, built the garage gym. It's
Okay.
temporary, but yeah, the garage gym, we're using that for my strength programs, and trying to,
Very
yeah,
cool.
kind of do everything.
Okay. So this was all born from Girls, Gears, and Beers, which was the women's mountain bike club that you
Yes.
founded 2018.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow. Okay. And as I understand it, it grew tremendously during COVID. You're up to almost 4,000 members now.
Getting close. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay. So my partner, my girlfriend, rides with your group,
Yeah.
and which is how I had an opportunity to meet you. And why is a women specific mountain bike group so important to growing the sport?
Yeah. Well, like me, I started mountain biking my freshman year of college in the year 2000. Um, and rode with mostly guys and men. And, graduating college, I found my one friend, she would mountain bike with me every now and then, but mostly it was all guys all the time, never progressed my skills, Never got better until I moved to California to go to physical therapy school, and I joined a club there and then learned about a women's clinic. And I was like, oh my gosh, I've been, riding with these poor habits, bad fundamentals for about 15 years, and realized like, wow, yeah, riding with women, it pushed me to improve myself and improve my skills, which I feel like a lot of the women in the club, not only are they finding their community here in Denver, which I think we're all looking for that, especially in the outdoors. Um, but yeah, they're finding their community and they're advancing their skills because they're seeing a woman do a feature that, they might have similar skill sets or similar fitness. They're like, well, they just did that, whatever that feature, like I should be able to do that too. Otherwise, if we're
Right.
riding with our partners, guys are more powerful. Their bodies are different. They have different strong suits. And I'll see, my husband rides something that I'm like, no, he's just stronger, or whatever, making excuses, and I don't try things. But since riding with women, like I've really advanced my skills, and I hear that a lot about the women of Girls, Gears, and Beers.
So, what do you do if you have someone who's a never ever, and they want to try the sport for the first time? I understand, and I know for a fact that it's an expensive sport to get into.
Yeah.
So, what would be the first step for somebody who's listening to this, a young lady or mom, and says, "This is for me." What do they do?
Yeah. I mean, I think the first thing is if you can borrow a bike or demo a bike, because you definitely don't want to invest whatever the bikes are costing now, which you can get some good used bikes for about 3 to 4 thousand. But yeah, borrow someone's bike, but you don't want it to be a bike from like the 80s, because
Okay.
it will play a difference. And having a nice bike, like you're going to enjoy it more. So yeah,
Hmm.
finding a bike that you can get on. And we do a lot with Girls, Gears, and Beers now, beginner specific rides.
Okay.
And so if you're brand new, like I would recommend taking a coaching clinic, kind of getting the fundamentals so that you don't start with those bad habits. And yeah, joining a group of women that are in the same skill set.
Did I saw you in the park once with a group of ladies. Was that the first time rider group that I saw?
Yeah, I do.
Um,
I do have an intro to mountain biking 3 week
okay.
clinic that I'll do spring through the
Cool.
fall. And
Yeah.
yeah, Monday nights we'll do skills at the ranch here, and then Wednesday nights we go to different trail systems and we'll go ride
Hmm.
trails so that you're with your same group of 6 people. And usually it's been all women. So each week you're riding with them and kind of encouraging each other, which is cool.
And this is things like as basic as this lever is a brake, this lever is a
Yeah.
shifter,
Yep.
stand up when you're going downhill, like the
Yeah.
real fundamentals.
Yeah. Super
Well,
basic. Yeah.
yeah. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, talking about like, things that you need to be checking, air pressure in your tires, chain, lubing your chain. People don't know that. So going over all of like simple maintenance, safety, like it's important to wear full finger gloves, having your helmet on right, like learning about flat pedals and what type of shoes, flat pedal shoes, how much they help rather than a flexible, running shoe, gear, and trail etiquette. All those are kind of big.
Trail etiquette.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to talk about trail etiquette because, every sport has its etiquette. And with the pandemic, during the pandemic, mountain biking saw a massive boom. I know from personal experience, I would go ride a trail and I'd see 5, 6 people. And then during the pandemic, I'd see, I don't know, 300 or 400 people, like
Yeah.
literally. I mean, it was, um, so we have quite a few new riders who might not know, like, oh,
Mhm.
this is the way it's done. I
Yeah.
feel that's important. I'm glad you teach this.
Yeah. And I think that has been a little bit of a problem with, with COVID. There's not just mountain bikers, but new people getting out and hiking and running and whatever, maybe riding horses. And so it's really important to be, even if you think someone already knows the rules, they might not, but just educating everybody so that we all understand, like, as mountain bikers, we're last on the list. So ideally, we're always stopping or slowing down, and just letting them know right away, like, we want to be friendly with everybody because a lot of times we're not, we're frowned upon for being in the way and going too fast and not stopping.
Right. Yeah. So for the people who don't know hiking or trail etiquette here, the most basic thing is everybody yields to horses,
Mhm.
and then mountain bikers must yield to hikers. So mountain bikers have to stop a lot, but that's okay. That's okay because it's a beautiful place to live here in Colorado, but that's true nationwide.
Yeah.
We're going to take a quick break. So if you're tuning in to this Dream House podcast, just give us a few moments. We're going to hear from our sponsor, and we'll be right back.
Year-end clearance today at Appliance Factory and Mattress Kingdom. Don't buy until you shop Appliance Factory. Guaranteed we beat Lowe's and Depot's sale prices. Guaranteed we'll save you money. GE to KitchenAid, LG to Viking. Guaranteed best prices of the year. Year-end clearance today at Appliance Factory and Mattress Kingdom. Mattress Kingdom inside Appliance Factory. Test all the new mattress brands: Purple, Casper, Dream Cloud, and Tempur-Pedic. Work with an expert to get the mattress of your dreams. Don't miss Appliance Factory and Mattress Kingdom's year-end clearance.
And we're back to This Dream House, the lifestyle podcast all about the house. Thank you, Coach Tina, for joining us today. So a couple questions for you. The sport of mountain biking has a reputation for being extremely dangerous. Why? Because we're flying down the trail at many, many miles per hour, wearing very little clothes. And, you come in, you make a small mistake and you're going to the hospital, right? I mean, that seems to be the reputation the sport has garnered. Can you talk about how you overcome maybe the fear for new riders and just some tips for staying safe?
Mm-hmm. So mountain biking is dangerous. We're traveling at high speeds. There's rocks, there's roots, there's cliff sides. So sometimes it is hard to avoid accidents. Even, pro riders make mistakes on occasion. I think the first thing is make sure you do have a proper helmet and it fits correctly. Go to a bike shop, try them on, and then pads. Even if you never crash, mistakes happen. And so I definitely recommend wearing knee pads and possibly elbow pads. So I don't like blood. So it just took like one crash that I skinned up my knee a few years ago. Then I'm like, all right, I'm always wearing my knee pads. And people say they're hot, they get in the way, it's summer, but doesn't matter. I'm used to it now. So I always have my knee pads on. If it's a really gnarly, chunky downhill trail, I will put my elbow pads on. Or if you're at a bike park. So bike park, that's a little different. You definitely want to have kind of full kit. So knee pads, elbow pads. Some people wear the chest and the back protectors and a full face helmet that's going to protect your face, your jaw, your teeth. But yeah, good pads. And then learning some fundamentals before you go out. And I think that can help the fear a lot. So learning how to safely brake, how to look where you're going, how to control your speed, body position on the bike, like all that stuff, just getting comfortable being on the bike and using it. Learning how to use your dropper post, like all that stuff's just going to make you a more confident rider. And then going on a trail that's super easy. So starting there with not a lot of rocks or roots or quote features, but something that's simple that, you're going with a friend that can kind of tell you, okay, this is coming up, and you can session it or keep trying it, and just kind of building progressively on those features will help with confidence and avoid injuries, as well as strength training. Very, very important. Keep your body. Yeah, keep your body resilient, because you will take a fall if you are in mountain biking long enough. And the stronger you are, the more resilient and strong your muscles, your bones, your tendons are. So you can take those falls with, knock on wood, no injuries or not significant injuries.
Yeah, and I appreciate all that advice, because I think in my experience, I see people, particularly if they go to the bike park. In a bike park, if you don't know, you take a chairlift at the ski resort in the summer to the top, and then you don't coast downhill. You rip downhill because you don't have to pedal as much. And they build, as you call them, features, things like big corners or berms and big jumps, ladders, all kinds of crazy stuff. And there's everything from beginner or green up to double black. It's kind of scored like skiing. And I think there's maybe a little bit of a misconception, like, oh, I grew up riding a bike. I started riding a bike when I was 6 years old. I know how to ride a bike. But mountain biking is a whole different language compared to just pedaling and staying upright. So one tip that I know that works for me, and I'm going to ask you maybe another one, is not using the brakes all the time. Mm-hmm. Like using the brakes only when you need to, and that helps the bike stay like upright and stable. Is that right? That seems to be true.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, sometimes they say like smooth is fast or fast is smooth or something. But yeah, like if you're in motion, you're going to travel over those rocks and roots rather than going super slow and you're feeling every bump and having to react to it. So carrying a little bit
Right.
of speed through the bumpy stuff can be
Yeah.
super helpful.
It seems to me that um, people might scoff at taking a lesson for something they intrinsically know how to do, but it's like I said, it's a whole different language. So
Yeah.
I would recommend if you're interested in mountain biking at all, taking a lesson will keep you safe. That's what we just learned for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
And reduce the intimidation factor by
Hmm.
quite a bit.
Yeah.
Um, and then, gosh, it's an expensive sport to get into. I've done a kind of a back and napkin calculation. If you buy a mid lower range bike and get all the pads, the gear, the water bottles, decent shoes and pedals, probably what, $1,500, $1,600 minimum,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Um, so you mentioned renting a bike to try it first. Is it, let's say somebody wants to try for the first time, should they come to Rowdy Rider Academy for their very first time ever on a mountain bike, or should they
Mhm.
rely on friends and family? What's your advice?
Well, I would say definitely come to Rowdy Rider Academy and take a lesson. Take one of my beginners lessons or fundamentals. I do hope to have a couple bikes for for rent in the future. So like right now I've got an extra size medium and size large, but I'm looking for a size small and size extra small so that say like yeah, your partner mountain bikes or your friend's mountain bike and you do want to get into it, but you're like, well, I don't have a bike and I don't even know how to try it. That would be a good time to say, okay, yeah, Tina's got a spare bike, so I can take this lesson,
Cool.
see if I like it, and then if I do want to invest in the gear, as
Yeah.
well as like shop Facebook Marketplace. There's a lot of mountain bike Facebook groups. We've got people posting in Girls Gears and Beers all the time. Like I've got these clothing, gloves, shoes, helmets. I mean, I go through lots of shoes and helmets, so I always have like, hey, do you want my old stuff? And
Yeah.
even though it's used, they can at least have something to get started.
And I got to tell you, when I've run into you and your group on the trails, which it's kind of fun, like we don't talk about it, but I run into you all the
Yeah.
time out
Last
in
year, I would see you like every other month.
yeah, it was great. I'm like, oh my gosh, my friends.
Yeah.
Um, I will say this: it is a fashion show like you've never seen out on the trail. So, can you talk about mountain bike fashion? Because for the people who don't know, it is unbelievable how just cute girls look in their kits. So, talk about that, please.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like any sport. Like there is certain clothing and certain gear. There's a lot of companies now that are making clothing, mountain bike clothing specific to women, which I think that there's been a huge push for that, especially larger sizes, because that's been the complaint is all the mountain bike clothing was made for men who have no waist, no hips, super skinny, so nothing fit for larger people. But now there's lots of options. We've got quite a lot of sponsors, some that are clothing sponsors, and so they've got all kinds of stuff. But in Girls Gears and Beers, we just updated our jersey design to this really cool and pretty like galaxy design. So I like seeing that out and everyone representing with our new jerseys. But yeah, you want to wear this chamois. Not everyone does, but just a little bit of protection, some padding when you're seated on the saddle, and then over top of that, the
Kind of
baggy shorts.
protects
Yep.
it's like a built-in pad, right?
Yeah. Protects the sit
Hmm.
bone, soft tissue when you've got, you're sitting on the saddle climbing, for instance. But I have friends that don't wear them. I've ridden without them, but it's like I'd rather have it, and I'm used to it, riding for 20 plus years.
Yeah.
So wearing a chamois, a comfortable chamois, and then baggy shorts on top of it, which I think that's kind of been a new thing in the last like 10 years of,
Right.
yeah, of wearing the baggy shorts.
Yeah, because it's a little less revealing. So it's you
Yeah.
don't. I know some people, men and women, prefer like the lycra spandex type
Yeah.
shorts, but
Because sometimes,
the,
yeah, your shorts could get caught on your seat. I've had that happen.
yes,
So
yeah.
yeah, pick a short that fits well.
Um, what is your favorite trail in Colorado to ride?
So that's a very common question. It's very hard to answer. Um, I love trails in Breckenridge, local trails. I would say like Hall Ranch is great, Bitterbrush Climb,
Ooh.
which I've seen you there. That's a challenging technical
Mhm.
uphill. It's got some fun features. Apex has a lot of different stuff up and down, and White Ranch, Longhorn. Sometimes I don't mind just a quick lap on North Table. That's basically the first trail I rode when I moved here. And it's the closest to me. So some people are like, oh, it's super boring, but there's a little bit of everything, especially now that our trails have gotten so eroded. But I go out to Grand Junction a lot with girlfriends. So that's a common destination. Lunch
That's
loops,
fun. Hmm.
Kokapelli. Yeah, there's a lot.
I mentioned to the producer that, and earlier during the intro, that mountain biking becomes a lifestyle. It's not just a sport. That it's vacations. You kind of plan your week around it.
Definitely.
So, does Girls Gears and Beers any big trips, any um, festivals or anything like that you do or that you recommend that someone new to the sport might want to learn about?
Yeah, I mean, with Girls, Gears, and Beers, we do a summer camping trip to Wellington Lake. This year, it's going to be, I think, the second or third weekend of June. But that's a 2-night camping trip, and it's right next to the Buffalo Creek Trail System. So it's really fun to, camp down by the lake, and then ladies will paddleboard, kayak, swim, whatever, and then we'll ride to Buff Creek. Um, so that's a super fun summer trip that we do. We try to do as a club, and then the end of September is Rome Fest, and Rome Fest
Okay.
is like the biggest women's mountain bike festival. It's super fun. This year is the first year that they're only doing one location. They used to do it in Sedona and Knoxville, Tennessee, I believe. So this year it's only going to be in Fruita, and I think they're expecting or they're trying to sell 1,000 tickets and
Whoa.
instead of the normal like 300 to 400 that they've had. So we're really kind of curious to how that's going to work with camping. But last year we had a big group out. I want to say there's about 35 or 40 ladies of Girls, Gears, and Beers there, but it's super fun. Just the community being around like 500 women mountain biking, all the sponsors. You're going off to do rides at 18 Road, Kokapelli, lunch loops, and then there's different talks and dance parties at night, film festival type stuff. So it's really great if you're even if you're new. 18 Road in Fruita like is a great place for beginners, so that's a good time to come out.
And no men, no boyfriends, no husbands, no platonic partners.
Nope, no one that identifies as male, and no dogs.
No dogs. Oh, because there'd be a million dogs,
I know,
which
yeah.
would be nice. But yeah, it's hard
Yeah.
to mountain bike sometimes with a dog. Well, so how does it feel to turn your passion into your full time job?
Um, Amazing. I've been chatting with a few friends lately because I quit my job as a physical therapist, as a full time physical therapist, almost 2 years ago. I was a clinic director at an outpatient orthopedic clinic, and I was just like getting burnout. I think with COVID, a lot of us are feeling like, is this truly what I want to do with my life? And I've been obsessed with mountain biking since I was 18. And I've always wanted to open up, a gym and like build a community of women. And that's ultimately why I moved to Colorado. And then, yeah, when I moved here, I met a few ladies that I would ride North Table with and then go to new terrain. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to start a Facebook club. And then with COVID, it blew up. And then I was talking actually with my former employer, and he, I guess, owns a soccer club, and he was like, well, you could, monetize this if you really wanted to. And that kind of put a thought in my head of, well, how could I build the business? And then I got my coaching certifications and realized like, oh, I know what I'm doing and I'm kind of good at this. And it helped me become a better writer too. So yeah, quitting my full-time job and putting all of my focus into Girls, Gears, and Beers, and now Rowdy Rider has been amazing. And I'm not making as much money as a PT, but I know there's a lot of growth potential having the ranch and the buildup of that, and it's been awesome just to yeah, create this community and be able to provide the skills coaching that I think a lot of people need, especially getting into the sport to be more confident and safer and stronger.
And stronger.
Fitness, yeah.
Well, congratulations to you on all your success with Rowdy Rider Academy and Girls Gears and Beers. How does somebody contact you if they want to see or learn more?
Yeah, so if you're, someone that identifies as female that's looking for friends in the community of mountain biking, we're on Facebook. We have a private group, Girls, Gears, and Beers. We're on Instagram, our website, girlsgearsandbeers.com. If you're someone that's just looking for skills coaching, Doesn't matter your age, sex, anything. It's Rowdy Rider Academy. So it's my dog's names, Rowdy, and then Rider with a Y. Which I also have a Facebook group and Instagram, and then the website's rowdyrideracademy.com.
One last question before I let you go. Have you been to Casa Bonita yet?
No, but I've been seeing people's posts again. And I keep meaning to get online and like enter in my info and try to get a spot.
All right. Well, after you go, we'll have you back on. We can talk about
Okay.
Casa Bonita and touch base about how the programs are going. Thank you so much for joining us. And I hope that it warms up so that we can get out on the trail sometime soon.
Yeah, thanks. Me too.
Okay. Have a great day. Take care, Tina.
You too.